At this moment is the Governor of Nyeri County, Mutahi Kahiga. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for finding time from your busy schedule to be here with us.
Thank you very much.
All right.
It's all my pleasure.
Good. Let's get straight into it. First things first, your transition into office was different from all the other governors and, of course, very difficult at the same time.
Yes.
How would you describe the last 6 months or so?
Well, it's been a trying time because we had a number of things. Number one was we needed to get over the loss that we as individuals and as a county went through when we lost our beloved governor, the late Dr. Patrick Wahome Gakuru. And it's been a time to try and find direction. Remember, I was thrust into this matter totally unprepared. He used to laugh about it. He would tell me that, you know, I've got no problem. Now that I have you, I'll be going all over the world looking for money to come and help this county.
And you'll now deal with it.
And I would tell him, yeah, I will do it, boss. Now, it so happened so fast that it's taken us some time to just internalize it and accept it and be able to move on. It was also a time that we had only started forming government. We had actually about 7 days after naming a cabinet. So we were there. Now we needed to first find out. I can tell you, Kahiga, it is not until I met Governor Kiambu, Waitito himself, and Governor Mwangi in Thika Hospital, that they told me, you know, now you are the acting governor, take over. I said, what are you talking about, guys? They said, no, we are waiting for you now to give us direction. And as they were telling me that, here was my boss lying on a deathbed, dead. I mean, it was really trying, but I thank God that 6 months down the line, looking back, we have really taken baby and giant steps at the same time. Okay.
Yeah. I'll give you a chance to talk about those baby and giant steps shortly, but have you then felt the need to have to prove yourself?
Initially,
because you did not get the mandate of the Nyeri people in the traditional manner.
Now, the real challenge was to walk away from trying to be Wahome Gakuru and be myself. Because clearly, even though we went in as a team, he was the vision bearer, and we were working towards his vision. But somewhere along the line, we had to find a direction. Where are we? We have what we had planned to implement and achieve together. How are we going to do it? Now, we were going to do it my way, not his way, because he wasn't there. And I didn't even know how his way was going to be. But I knew where we were going, and that's where we've been focused.
Talk to me about your vision. Briefly, if you were to explain your vision to someone in a minute or two, President Uhuru Kenyatta in 1 minute would say the big four.
Yes.
What are the big four, big five, big seven, or big two of Nyeri County for you?
For me, they are around the same big four, but I envisage Nyeri County as a county of happy people who are economically stable and are people who are raring to go in their totally Mau spirit. That's all. I want to revive the Nyeri dream because for some reason it went down. Okay. Yes, that's all.
But you're being too general. Happy, stable, raring to go. Give me specifics.
When I talk about happiness, happiness means food security is number one. Any happy person is a person who is assured of the next meal. A happy person is a person who is assured of achieving and getting affordable health care. It's someone who is able to live in a house that he's proud of. And is a person who is assured of a job somewhere. Those four.
Those four. So food, healthcare, a job, and health.
Yes.
Are what you're looking at.
That is what I'm looking at. And that's where we are focusing.
How different would you say your vision is from the late governor, from your predecessor?
Not very different.
Not very different.
Because that's where we were going. We had decided between the two of us that we were going to revamp agriculture, which is the mainstay and the backbone of Nyeri economy. 85% of Nyeri has a direct link with agriculture. You are either a farmer, you are either consuming the products, you are either buying the same and trading in them. And so we thought initially, as we focused on it, that what we needed to do was ensure that we have revamped and revived agriculture. Initially, as we came over, we realized that agriculture was getting peanuts, 100 million. and I raised the same to 500 million.
So right now the allocation is 500 million.
500 million. Okay. Yes, and along that, we're trying to create a different kind of economy around you can say, look at the avocado. We are spending 30 million this year, and we are now giving out free 136,000 avocado seedlings for the Haas plant. We want to create an economy around that. We still think that there is a big, huge market that we cannot even certify for the Haas. And we want to do that progressively for the next 4 years. So that in the next 4 years, we are talking about close to almost 700,000 avocado trees in Nyeri. Not forgetting that we already have about another 200,000 that are there. So we increase the same. We go down and bring in the macadamia. This year alone, we're giving 36,000. The total will be about 30 million for this year alone. And what that one does is we're trying to bring back the youth to the shamba. The youth,
get young people back to
agribusiness. They are my young people have no time to sit and wait for a coffee plant to give them the money, because it takes time to get money from a coffee tree, knowing that it has to go through all that process. So they are ready. They want an avocado tree, and in 2 years you can pick the crop and sell it on even outside your gate, and you get the money.
Okay,
that's where we want to go.
That's where you want to go. I want us to listen to what your people have to say about some of the opportunities and challenges in Nyeri County, and that should be coming up shortly. But it's interesting you mentioned coffee. Coffee farmers under the late Governor Gachagua were said to receive between, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, between 80 to 120 shillings per kg of coffee. Is that still the case?
It didn't happen. That's where we need to start.
So it never actually...
It never happened. Currently, as
but it came close to that.
I can tell you this. Currently, as you're speaking, only about 2 or 3 cooperative societies have paid anything close to that. That is, you're talking about Othaya coffee farmers.
Okay.
You're talking about Varicho. Those are the only that have come close to paying that. So, and really,
what is the issue affecting coffee?
Coffee is about cartels and marketing. I'll tell you this. 80% of Nyeri coffee is sold. You know, there are 2 ways of selling: the direct marketing and the auction. 80% of it is through the auction. What is the auction? It's about a cartel with all kind of barriers that will stop you, Kahiga Mwaura, from accessing the buyer. And you have to go through this. There is legislation. They have to stop you from this. You can't market. You know, all that kind of thing. There are so many bottlenecks along the way, and they are deliberately put there to hamper I think the farmer, to stop the farmer from actually getting what he deserves. You'll be surprised that in that value chain, it's only the farmer who gets the least.
Everybody else gets something to...
Even people who don't know the color of a coffee tree, they are taking home billions.
You seem to know the problem. Do you have the solution?
My focus now, my first focus is to increase the production of coffee in Nyeri, because we can't be talking about marketing what we don't have. Statistics show that currently our coffee has gone down, and we are below Kirinyaga, we are below even Embu. That tells you we've lost it both in quality and quantity. And what have we done as a government? We have purchased lime worth 50 million, which we have already distributed to the farmers to be put in the coffee farms to try and change the acidity of our soil to help us produce more coffee. Now, once we get there, we have hired 300 extension officers who will be going back to the farms to work with the farmers to ensure that we can revive that crop. Then once we are there and we have enough, we will now be looking at, can we engage differently? Can we change this setup where 80% of our coffee is sold through the auction, and can we increase that to even 50%?
How will you block these cartels? Because I mean, it's a good plan, but in all that, I still see cartels.
I am looking at it this way. We have a window of opportunity. Currently, there is the task force that the president has and we have tried to engage with it, because we must change legislation. That's where it all begins. Unless we change the existing coffee laws that stop me and you from dealing with coffee directly, that would be we have to do something now. The second thing is we must bring in the value chain addition. I'm very happy that Othaya Coffee today are roasting and packaging their own coffee. And that's where we need to go. Nobody stops us from doing it as Nyeri and packaging our own coffee and saying, this is our coffee. We brand it, and how can we deal directly? Because nobody stops me from selling a finished product.
That's right.
Even within that, the kind of existing legislation. So that's why we are focusing.
Let's listen to what the people of Nyeri County Governor have to say about issues affecting them.
Soko tulikuwa kwa ile new market. Sasa tukapelekwa hapa na tukaambiwa tutatengenezewa hii soko, na kutoka gavana wetu siku ile alifariki hatuna amani hapa.
Ninafurahia kwa sababu gavana wetu anafanya kazi. Ni kwa sababu tumeona akikuja town anatuuliza inaendeleaje, tunasema ni gavana mzuri kwa sababu huwa anakuja kuuliza wananchi maoni. Anatembea, anaona kama kazi inafanywa ama kazi ifanywi. Yeye akai kwa ofisi, hata kwa ofisi anaingia kwa ofisi. This and this hii na hii nyingine anauliza kama wanafanya kazi, wanaendelea mzuri.
Tuko na miaka mingi sana tumesumbuliwa na maji ya hiyo ya mitaro. Kutoka tangu serikali ya ile ingine ilikuwa ya county council. Hiyo ingine ilikuwa ya county council, hiyo ingine tumesumbuka. Hawakutukusikia. Na sasa hii bado.
Juzi tuliona akitembea Nyeri akiangalia mabarabara. Hiyo ndio kainda yake. Tunataka kumchika mkono aendelee na kazi, kwa maana tumepata barabara imetengenezwa sasa na ameanza kazi.
Ukienda na gari hata ni kama haifiki kwa moshari, lazima isukumwe. Kwa hivyo tunaomba gavana, na kuna wakati alitembea huko na akaahidi mambo kadhaa, lakini hakuongea mambo ya barabara, na pia yeye mwenyewe alipitia kwa hiyo barabara, na kuanzia wakati huo hatujaona shejio yote.
Well, Governor, mixed views there. Some very happy with what you're doing. Others are saying on specific sectors, please look at them. Let me start with the market concern, for example. I think it's called the Nyeri Open Air Market, but it might have a different name. Traders were relocated under a previous regime, said construction could happen. What's the plan now? Because the traders say we have nowhere to go. Nothing has changed much in that market. Is that a project that you've put on hold? Are you going to look at it?
Thank you, Kahiga. I agree. This is what you have the facts correct. This is the people that were moved out of their old open air markets so that it will be constructed. And indeed it was constructed, but it was left incomplete. I have already taken the first step, which is done BQs. I have tendered the work, and the work has been allocated. And I have set aside 15 million. And the work is in progress now as we are speaking. And I had been promised that by the end of April, they would be able to get back into the market. So this is my
and we're in April right now, so
yeah,
a few weeks, okay?
In a few weeks, I don't see us meeting that deadline. One of the things you must appreciate, and anyone else must appreciate, is that government procurement procedures are quite cumbersome. You need 35 days to allocate any work. And that is one of the challenges that we realized. And but I am happy to report that we have made progress. We already have a contractor on site, and I think that market plus other markets will be complete.
So if not April, by when? They are watching.
I am putting it to May. End of May, then we should have not... We don't need to be speaking about the market any longer. Okay. We should have finished. And I'm specific about the open air market.
The open air market.
The Karatina market, which I know is also a problem, is national government. But we are in talks with national government. Just a few issues are remaining. We are in talks even with the Mheshimiwa Rigathi of Madeira, and we are working towards ensuring that there is a quick completion of that project.
Okay.
Yes. We have another market in Chaka, which is also being done by the national government. That's a bit, we are still far off from getting it finished, but we are moving on.
You're moving on the same.
Yes.
When it comes to roads, because that was also brought up.
Yes.
Someone has actually asked a question, and I'll be showing some SMSs shortly, but this one I can come to specifically. Kindly request the governor to give us a time frame on when the roadworks will be completed from Ruringo Classic to the junction of Tetu, Kinunga, Gitavini. We need the tarmac road. So there are concerns about roads, especially for farmers who need to take products to the market. You had someone talking about a road that has a problem near a mortuary as well. Talk to us about your plan to fix roads.
Okay.
On
roads in Nyeri County, the daily, the standard of, I think 29th, we did put in the expression of interest and the tenders who are there for roads in the following places: Nyeri Town, Mukroini Bus Stage, and Karatina. We want to tarmac those roads. We are in that process now, and so we are in the process of procurement. Which
you have the funds to cover?
I have the funds.
Okay.
I have the funds. I have already done the tendering. I'm waiting for. Actually, they are supposed to return the documents on the 12th, and so once they bring them through on the 12th of this month, the next thing will be that they'll be opened, and then there will be all the technical whatever, and then the works will be awarded. So for those roads within Nyeri Town, Karatina, Mukoroine Bus Stage, we should have done them in the next 2 months.
In the next, okay, 2
2
months.
months, yeah.
Okay.
In the next 2 months.
Kieni constituency, there has been a challenge there with roads,
yes,
I am told.
Yes, but
what's the long-term plan?
I thank God that many of the roads in Kieni, we only have we have had only 2 roads. One leading from Kiganjo to Nanyuki, and another one from Nyeri to Nyahururu. Those are the only roads that were in Kieni. But I thank national government that we've been able to get a loop from Narumoro all the way up to Karichen, and that is complete. Then we have another one that is starting at we'll end up at Nairutia all the way from this town called Kiawara.
Okay.
So that one is being done. On issues of feeder roads, I have no immediate plan now for Kieni, because I needed to first deal with this town, the Nyeri Town and Karatina, so that once the town is okay, then I can, if funds allow, and going forward into the next financial year, which should be able to. But when I was in Machakos, I was able to borrow from my colleague, Governor Mutua, that he has bought equipment. And by purchasing of equipment that he can use to make roads, it is bringing down the cost of making our own roads from 44 million per kilometer to 11 million. And I have also in this budget, the 2018-2019, I have allocated money to start purchasing of equipment, so that once I have the equipment, then I am able to control with even little funds. I'm able to. So
that's a long-term plan.
That's a
buy your own
long-term plan.
equipment
Yes.
to reduce the cost of doing
Exactly.
roads.
Yes.
Okay. Keep sending us your SMSs. 22422 is our SMS line, and I will read them to you. Governor, before I read more SMSs, Governor, let me ask you. You recently told Nyeri residents that your choice of a deputy would come as a shocker to them. How are we to interpret that? Shocker means something that you can almost faint.
Really, you know why I said this?
Yes.
Nyeri has so decided that it wants, there is a narrative around a few names.
And they want you to pick one of those.
That is why I said, okay, it will be a shocker. It will not be among those names that you have continued mentioning. It may, it may not be. So it will be a shocker.
So it's not a front runner. Is that what you're telling your residents, that the front runners in the discussion about
I have said it. I have said this, and I will say it again. I'm looking for a Dr. Wahome Gakuru in my deputy. That's all. I'm looking for a Dr. Wahome Gakuru. I knew Dr. Wahome Gakuru very well. I knew who he was and what he wanted, and how he was. And how he wanted anything. That's the kind of person I'm looking for.
But if you get a vision bearer as a deputy, what does that mean for you?
That's not a vision bearer.
But that's what Dr. Wahome Gakuru was.
For me, yes, that time. Now he's not. So now I am the vision bearer and I want someone to support my vision. Yes. But somebody with the traits of Dr. Wahome Gakuru.
Give me 3 traits.
Yes.
Help 3 traits, for example. You're looking for a man or a woman who is...
Number 1.
Yes. Give me 3 things.
Totally transparent.
Okay.
An accountable person and a person who is development conscious. 3 things. That's what...
Transparent, development conscious...
And accountable.
And accountable.
Yes.
Let's take a look at a quick SMS. Put it up on the screen. Somebody here asking, that's coming up now. Okay, we are back to roads again, Governor. It's not even intentional. I don't know whether you are aware the roads within Nyeri Town and the surroundings are in very bad shape. If you don't know, arrange for a monthly participation meeting. An example of one very important road is the one connecting Gitero and Karingaini. Let's see if we have another one. Just note that, Governor, but you've touched a bit on it. We should have another one coming up. Or kindly request the Governor to give us a time frame of when the roads will be completed from Rorigo Classic to the junction. We need the tarmac road. This one I think I'd already mentioned to you. Governor, where can we collect avocado and macadamia seedlings? You spoke about a plan to distribute. Governor, my question is, what plans do you have for your county staff who have not been promoted up to now? So there's promotion and, of course, avocado seedlings and collection as well on roads. So briefly try and answer those.
Okay, I will start with the last one. Promotions are ongoing. The County Public Service Board is doing a wonderful job on promotion, and it has been handling departments. If, for Benson, who has asked that question, his department hasn't been because I don't know which department it is.
Yes.
But they have been handling. I have had a challenge. Instead of having 6 commissioners or 6 members of my county public service board, I have not had a chairman. When I came over, I didn't have two other members. One member had relocated to Nairobi and was there. So currently, I think last night I received an indent from my, because I had asked, can you give me an indent to show what we need for a chairman of a public service board and for a member? I received them last night. Had I been in office, we would have discussed it with my people, and maybe tomorrow we would have put it in the papers. So what are we saying is that I appreciate that the County Public Service Board has been emasculated in terms of people, capacity, but they have done a good job. They've been handling departments, and I am aware that majority of the departments have been dealt with. Maybe Benson's department is next on the line. Okay. And it will be done. That's one. On the issue of macadamia, we decided that because there weren't too many, we wanted to get them through with organized groups. And so whoever has asked the question, get down to your closest ward administrator.
Ward administrator,
yes.
Okay.
And out there he will tell you how we will be distributing them, very much so through the cooperative societies.
Okay.
So
avocado is the same?
Avocado and macadamia, the two will do it that way.
All right.
Now on the roads, I think I had explained and said that currently we are focusing tarmacking Nyeri roads. But we have already started and are almost completing, except for the rains that have come, 2 kilometers of Maram Road in every ward. That one we've awarded, and the works are progressing, but they were hampered by the rains that came.
Okay.
And I'm sure once they subside by the end of the week, they will be taken over. But at least 2 kilometers in every ward. I have 30 wards, that's 60 kilometers.
Fair enough. I'll have to stop you there because there's a lot we need to get through. And of course, people keep sending us SMSs. I'll try and pass a few more to you. You recently made it mandatory, Governor, for county staff to use only English and Kiswahili when communicating within county offices. They should also wear tags bearing their names. What was the aim? What's the aim of this?
Kahiga Mwaura, my employees are not celebrities like you. People
I'm
know
not a celebrity.
You are. Everybody in Kenya knows. No, if anybody go on Citizen TV, they will tell you that's Kahiga Mwaura.
Fair enough. But language. Why do you restrict their language or give them?
I mean, that's the official language.
Were they speaking too much of national?
Not really. And anyway, I will tell you this frankly. I've gone through that. I've gone through the speeches I made. I've gone through the court. I never spoke about that.
So you were misquoted?
But for a reason,
yes,
someone thought that it was right to use that. But clearly I can tell you, at no point did I say that.
That English
I
and
never
Kiswahili
said
would
that.
be the only
I
languages.
never said that. And when I pursued the journalist who did that, and it was pursued, the answer that I got was that, well, which was your source? I had one of the employees say that.
So it's completely false?
I can tell you that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can tell you
So
that.
they can speak whatever language they want to
I
speak?
never said that.
You never said that?
I never said that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Governor, there was a plan last year bringing together several governors from central Kenya to revive the railway line. This was from Nairobi to Nanyuki. Under the plan, I think 8 counties would contribute 100 million to start the 25 billion project. Where are we with that particular plan? I think the last time we heard about it was in November.
Yes, what we did was we refocused and said, rather than us getting into doing the railway line and we have only 800 million, which may not even do a few meters of railway, can we work towards first creating the Mount Kenya Economic Block?
Okay.
We called it Central Kenya Economic Block. We have a chairman whom we set up and said we're in the process of setting up a secretariat. We've been holding meetings to try and see how first and foremost we can gel together before we get on. But it's not that we have abandoned the project. We are still working around the same.
But you're using a different approach.
Different.
So you want to build the Mount Kenya Economic Block first?
First, then we can get into all those others.
What, in a nutshell, for a viewer who may not be aware of the Mount Kenya Economic Block, what are its objectives?
Its objectives is just to improve on the economic, how shall we put it? To improve on the economic capacity of our people. That's
the economic capacity of your people.
Of our people. Okay. Of our people. Of the 10, actually there are 10, not 8, because we've roped in Nakuru and Laikipia, Meru, Tharaka Nithi, Embu, the 5 here. That makes it 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your plan specifically for your county, for example, to attract investment in Nyeri town? Let me give you an example. When you compare Nyeri with Nanyuki, if you visit Nanyuki as a Nairobian, so to speak, you find a lot of things in terms of growth and change, and whether it's shopping malls, etc. When you visit Nyeri town, you still get that feeling that, in terms of development, a lot has not changed. And yet, one would say, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Nyeri is older. It's more, quote-unquote, senior to Nanyuki. Should be more prestigious as well.
Yes. Number one, Nyeri has been kind of enclosed. We've not grown, in terms of, but right now there is a new move to, we were still so passionate about coffee. We were so passionate about our farming that it took us time before we could now start opening up. Remember, Nyeri is surrounded by agricultural land. And it took time for our people to start. If you walk now on your way to Nanyuki, you realize now they have started chopping up the coffee farms and making them, into malls. And
is that a good thing, though?
Well, I'll tell you this. That's why we are going avocado. That's why we are going, so, because really, like I told you, the youth are finding it very difficult to go sit under a coffee tree and wait for the, that process of... It's easier
for them to get a job in a mall or
even,
a place or a car wash.
Or a car wash and something like that. They want to move faster. Then traditionally, Nyeri has not been very business-oriented. History will tell you that majority of Nyeri people have been faithful civil servants. I can quote 1,000 of them who have been very faithful as civil servants. They just want to work and go home. Think about it. Who was the first governor of the central bank? Dan Kandegwa. Where did he come from? Think about the first permanent secretary of education.
No, a lot of notable figures have come out of Nyeri.
So Nyeri has that I'm okay, I'm comfortable working, and even venturing into business is usually, I think we don't want to take risks. But currently we are moving, and I as a governor is pushing towards, like, sadly, you can see Nakumatt is closed down in Nanyuki. Nyeri, we have brought it, Naivas is there now. We're trying to open up, and yesterday I was I have talked to Dan Kandegwa, and he has agreed to give us money, land, about 30 acres, to put up a cultural center, put up a mall, and that is outside town, and we want to pull growth towards that direction.
Okay.
Yes, but
so that's the strategy.
we are looking ahead and seeing that working with national government, the dual carriageway is coming all the way up to Marwa, then proceeding to Isiolo. We are looking at it that way. That is also part of our growth.
And that will expand,
yes, expand in
Nyeri County and
yes.
what's available.
But I can tell you this, I'm still concerned that my county goes to sleep at 5. Nyeri town...
And I'm told you can't get food in town at 9.
Nyeri town goes to sleep at 5. And I'm still trying to address that.
Why do you think
I'm
this
trying
happens?
to light up. I'm trying to light up the town. I'm trying to work around it. But I think my people... The majority of my people just come to Nyeri to work and go out of Nyeri. So by 5 o'clock, they are going back home. As a county, we've bought the police vehicles. We have given the police 8 vehicles. The CID, we've given them 2 vehicles. We are fueling them at 40 liters per week, just to improve on security.
But there's no one to
But then my
over.
people, 5 o'clock, you find them locking the shops and going home. I think, anyway, we'll see where to go.
All right. Do we have a few more SMSs? Not yet. I'll come and read a few. But Governor, I want to find out from you. You know, they say that bad news travels faster than good news, especially in this industry of ours. In early February, it was reported that there was a proposal to spend 20 million to build a gate for the Nyeri governor's office. You defended yourself and called it a typing error. A very expensive.
Very one. I agree.
Typing error.
It came from my finance department, the planning department.
Did you find out who?
Yes, and they apologized, and I told them, yeah, I mean, the Nyeri office is complete.
So they still have their job. You are a forgiving man.
No, somehow, you know, one of the things you don't do is you don't always rock the boat. But I have given a caution. It's not going to happen again. And anything now that needs to be done, actually, they had not brought it for me to have it. Yes, I was also shocked, and I was asking, what is this for?
So was it an attempt at? It was an attempt at theft.
I wouldn't think it's theft, because even if you put
that gate was renovated,
even if you put in the figure there, you would not be able to spend it as a department of finance. So I think it must have been a genuine just typo.
Okay. But the 200 million for the construction of the governor's house
now, 200
was not
million, I think I need to address this.
You have an opportunity
and I need to address this. Clearly, I wish I brought the circulars. SRC has given clear indications that by June 2019,
allowances.
Currently,
yes,
the deputy governor, the governor are either living in their own houses and earning a house, an owner-occupier allowance, or counties have hired out or rented apartments for them or houses. And so they have said clearly that by June 2019, they will not allow any governor to be paid owner-occupier allowance or get a house rented for them. And so they have said by June 2019, you must have put up 3 buildings. One for the county speaker, the county assembly speaker, which will be done by the county assembly. One for the deputy governor and the governor. Official residences. Currently, as we are speaking, Nyeri does not have any official.
So is the 200 million for one structure or for 3 structures?
The 200 was for 2. For 2.
So the 100
100. Let me also say this, Kahiga. It's important that Nyeri people know we don't even have the land. As a county government, we don't have the land where we were going to build. So we were going to purchase land, then put up the houses.
Okay.
And really, knowing the kind of land you needed, I see for myself, maybe if you need to put up an official governor's residence, not necessarily for Mutahi Kahiga, but there will be governors who will come after me. It's an official residence of the county. I want the Nyeri people to tell me, what kind of official residence do you want? And so we will need land and put it up where we need to put it up. Then we are putting up 2 houses. And I think it's important that we also realize an official residence of the governor will have the main house. It will have security houses. They'll have or the servant quarters and all that kind of thing.
So it's an elaborate
it's
structure.
an elaborate structure.
Why did some of your residents feel that priorities were misplaced? Because that was the feedback, that there were more important things to do than
I will tell you,
a house of this
we are
magnitude.
less than 1 year out of an election. And there are people who are still sore at losing.
So this was funded by your opponents?
I don't want to say that, but I can tell you, I wouldn't walk away so far from that. Because there are people who think that for a reason, Nyeri should continue politicking until the next. But I thank God that we are focused. We don't want to dwell on that. We want to focus on what we have to deliver to the people of Nyeri. And this is my commitment. This is the commitment of my government, that we ensure that we deliver for the people of Nyeri.
That you deliver for the people of Nyeri. The reason I am pushing you on this matter is because you're not the only county where there has been acrimony over the cost of your residents. We've seen also some issues in Kisumu County, for example. My question to you is, when it comes to development projects, hospitals, etc., it seems that in county governments, it's okay to halt those projects because of insufficient funds. When it comes to projects like the governor's home, they are only halted when the public is complaining, but somehow funds are always allocated for them.
It hasn't happened in Nyeri.
It hasn't happened in Nyeri.
Yeah. It hasn't happened, and I will not speak for
Why does it
else.
seem that when it's the governor's house or something related to the governor, approvals are quickly given, but when it's a different project, we have to wait? It drags on.
Like I said, Wahiga, it hasn't happened.
I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
It hasn't happened in Nyeri, and I can tell you many of the governors have been going slow on that matter.
Of the governor's residence.
And I can tell you, I'm being vilified, I'm being shot at, and I'm being skinned alive simply because I was the first governor to go boldly and say, now I want to do what the SRC is saying. Yes. And I can tell you, I have shared with many governors have continued to tell me, receive the flag on our behalf so that we can now come up and do it.
So they're backing you?
They are backing me.
Let me take a look at some SMSs from your people, Governor. Here we go. They are coming up. Let's take these ones. Hi, Governor. What is your plan about alcohol in Nyeri? And also Nyeri Mokurweni roads and water. Those are some of our challenges. So that's alcohol, water, and roads. Okay. Somebody here thinks you have a personal problem with nurses. You have a chance to respond to that. Another person here, you don't give us your name, but you say there's a court injunction not to recruit CEC for gender and social services, but you have ignored it and sent a nominee to assembly. You can confirm if that's true or not. And Governor, as a former sports administrator, which was actually one of my questions to you, your plans to take Nyeri to the next level in nurturing and sustaining talent.
Thank you.
Oh, one last one. Governor, doing a great job. Nyeri County is the first county to formally launch a code of conduct ethics. And I think we have another. And Governor, kindly tell us your plans about garbage disposal at Asian Quarter. It's an eyesore and a health hazard to the residents around.
Thank you, Wahiga. I want to start with the last one. We were in a process of procuring land. We already have the money to purchase land in an area around Kieni to move the dump site out of the Asian Quarter to Kieni, Chaka area or Muiga area. And the progress was well until we had 5 people who expressed interest, and when they were asked to bring back, only 1 brought back. We went to see the land, and the land was found to be rocky. So you can't use,
a great expense.
You can't use that as a dump site because a dump site needs to be managed, you know. So you need occasionally to lift up soil and cover. Now you can't do that with rock. So we have restarted the process.
Will you change to a different location now?
We have to.
You have no choice.
We have no choice. But I think I need to tell Nyeri this, that we have set aside 20 million to purchase the land, and also to fence it and do the initial preparation of the land so that we can move Asian Quarter dump site, and then think about what we can do with the Asian Quarter, find out if we can open a bus park, or we can decide on which direction to go. So that one we will do.
Okay.
On the issue of sports,
and we were told that, I mean, President Uhuru Kenyatta had promised the completion of Ruringo Stadium during the funeral of the late.
It's going on.
It's going on.
We only had an issue with the Kenya Power. There were some main lines passing the stadium, and we were not able to get them moved. But finally, after our intervention, they were moved, and the progress is moving on. We may not meet the set deadline, but we are in progress.
Okay.
The rains have come, so we cannot continue. On Rorengo, we have to wait until the rains subside, and then but the contractor is doing a perfect job, and I, as a county, have already allocated close to 100 million for the fencing.
Okay.
Of Rorengo, because
so when it
that was
raining,
left to me.
Yes.
That was left to me. As the national government does the internal, I need to do the fence, the perimeter wall around it. And so I have set aside money for that, and I hope to complete it.
Fight against alcohol?
Before that, let me talk about sports.
You talk, okay.
On sports, this weekend was the culmination of the Governor's Cup in both volleyball and football. Teams began practicing, competing at the ward level, and they moved on. It took about 3 weeks. They came to the sub-counties, and then we were able to have the county finals this weekend.
Okay.
And I congratulate Madeira, East and West, because they are the two teams that met in the final for football. I congratulate Kenny East and Nyeri Central, because they met in the finals for volleyball. And we were able to finally have the winners. And we also selected a team, actually 3 teams that we will take to Makueni this weekend to go and compete against other counties in the youth competition. I am a sportsman. I don't want to say I have ever been. I am a sportsman.
You are a sportsman.
And I will, to culminate, or the climax of that competition was that I have given 300 balls. Volleyballs, 300. Footballs, 300 balls. To go to the wards, just to try and, ensure that the youth down there can continue practicing using those balls, and I'll keep replenishing them.
And from an infrastructure perspective as well, do they have enough grounds and
They
fields?
have. I'm already working on 4 stadiums: Karatina, Geshira, Muiga, and Kayaba. 4 of them that we are working around. Some perimeter walls, others just preparing.
Some leveling.
But yeah, leveling, and that is what we are trying to do. That is in a bid now to uplift sports.
Okay, I need to move you to the next one because of time. The fight against illegal brew, Kiambu Governor Ferdinand Wetito has taken this personally. What is your approach and
My
your
approach
view?
is that Nyeri, number one, we must say that we do not have a major problem with illicit brew. With illicit brew, I need to be very clear on that. We don't have a major problem, but our alcohol licensing department is doing what it should. We have moved on to a level where before we license, we are involving the public. We have public participation to clearly indicate, and I can tell you I have a case on my desk where a small town has said they don't want a bar. And we are not giving any bars. Some people have appealed, and they will be that way without any bars.
Okay.
So for us, that's the direction we are taking. We want to listen to the people.
You want to listen to the people.
Yes.
Do you have a problem with nurses? Is a question, another question.
Let me say this. I do not have any problem with nurses. I am actually very proud of my nurses, because Nyeri County nurses, even when the strikes were called, I still had about 500 nurses working. And so my people did not suffer, and I'm very, very proud of my nurses. The only thing I've said is this: I take time to explain the issues I have, especially of finance. And I've requested my nurses, I've requested my doctors, who are taking the biggest chunk of my money, or the county money, because more than 35% of all the budgetary allocation is going to health. And the worst thing is that 1.9 of 2.7 billion is going towards salaries. And so I'm telling them, I think it is important for the people of Nyeri to get value for money. Let's not take all the money towards, and I'm saying this, now that I'm going to pay all allowances that nurses have asked for, I'm going to pay everything that they want. I want something reciprocal. I want to say this: why also should we? If you are for example, in my level 5,
okay,
why would you work for 4 nights, then take 5 days off?
So what do you want from them? More working hours or?
I don't want more working hours. I'm saying this. Every employee, including the governor, who works more than they do, should work for 40 hours. As simple as that.
Okay. So that's what you're asking the nurses to do?
That's all I'm doing, yeah. Let them just do that and serve my people.
And if they don't agree?
Well, we will engage. We will continue engaging. We have no issue. I don't even know where that came from, but we have no issue. I personally are very proud of my nurses.
Okay. Tell me, Governor, in terms of ambulances in Nyeri Town, how many are working?
I have 8 that are. I have 8 ambulances, but currently I have 5 which are stuck in CMC, Nanyuki. CMC do not have the spare parts. They were taken there, and so I have only 3 working.
Not 1.
No, 3.
1 SMSs, you only have, there's only 1 working. Only 3 working.
3 are working.
Are those able to?
No, they are not, and that's why I'm pushing. I can show you the first SMS I wrote this morning.
Yes.
Was to my health, CEC, to the director of health, and he is telling me he is in contact with the CMC Nanyuki, and he is telling me, good morning, sir. CMC promised to repair the release our ambulances in 3 weeks, starting last week. We have paid and everything.
Okay, we believe you. Okay, yeah. Okay. So we get your point, Governor. As we wrap up this discussion, devolution conference coming up next week. But what are your hopes and thoughts?
My hopes and my thoughts are that devolution will be seen for what it is, bringing services closer to the people. It's not about lording over people. It's not about bringing kings next to you. It is about delivering services to you. And therefore the people, as we engage, because the whole of this week we are engaging with county dialogues, we are asking our people the simple question. This is devolution. Do you feel its effect? Okay. Yes. And what would you want us to do differently? But I will say this, that I thank the president that he was able to approve yesterday a law that will allow for an increase in allocation to the counties of close to 33.3 billion extra over what we got the year before. But I still think that going forward, we may need to look at how much more can we give counties? How much more? What other interactions should there be? Like we are headed into 2 issues that will create problems for counties. Number 1, we are expected to hire ECD teachers. I am already hiring them, 800 of them. I need to pay these teachers. National government should take them over and pay them as they should, just like they do teachers. Because that's a huge workload put on a county, yet the allocation is only the 15%. Going forward, look at the medical, the area of hospitals and provision of medical, UHC. I really still think, and I'm convinced that national government has the financial muscle to run to just work around the provision of health better than counties. Why am I saying that? So going forward, I think we need to look at those 2 issues and ask national government. I think they need to step in, either pay or the employees. If they could take over the component of paying salaries, then we would be able to run. Okay.
Governor, we actually have an update from Nyeri County, something that's happening as we speak, and I want us to listen to an update from our correspondent, and then you'll respond as your last word. We have Martin Munene on the line. Martin, just tell us a little bit. I'm told we have a protest there. Just explain to us what the key issue is.
A very good morning to Wahiga Maura, and like you said, we're coming to you live. And where I'm standing, actually I'm standing outside the governor's office, and what is happening here is that a group of students, as you can see, have actually come here. These are students from KMTC in Nyeri, and they have some grievances that they want addressed, and they're saying that they're protesting because their principal has been moved. And so let me just talk to 1 or 2 of their student leaders so that we understand, Wahiga, exactly what the problem is. So kindly tell us who you are, and very briefly tell us what is the problem and why are you here.
Yes, I'm Collins Binge from a student leader in KMTC Nyeri. So one of our grievances, in the morning we heard that our principal was to be transferred, and a principal from another school was to come in this school, and that is what we don't want. Our principal from Ogaya, yes, our principal. Shh, I am talking. The student leader is talking. So I, being the president of the school, I wanted everything to be settled down. I want everything to be settled down before we go back to school. Before we go back to school, we are going to do a peaceful demonstration. We are not going to throw any stones, but in case they force us, we'll do exactly that.
Okay, all right. Let me just another student leader, very briefly. Okay, Kahiga, I can't even hear myself speak. Just tell me very briefly, what is the problem and why? What do you hope to achieve by what you're doing here? What do you hope to achieve?
Yes, actually, I'm Mohammed Ali from KMTC Nyeri. I'm the Secretary General of the Student Representative Council. In the morning, we heard that our principal has been given the letter of transfer, and actually the students are very unhappy with that. The principal has been so good in the administration. In fact, she has not stayed in the school more than 2 semesters. So she has done a lot. She has actually constructed some buildings which has not been constructed long before by the previous principal. Actually, she listens to the grievances of the students. She's a very good principal. She has developed our school, and therefore we are not happy with that. And today we are striking so that our principal does not go anywhere.
Let me just get away from them. And what they are saying is that the reason they are here is because they say that they want their issues addressed, and their main issue being that the principal has been transferred. And so they are saying that they are going to stay here until somebody addresses them. But as we speak, no one has come out to address them. But we can see police officers are actually here. I don't know if my camera person can be able to show them, but we have police officers here. We've also got the council askaris here to ensure that nothing actually goes wrong. Right here, we can see a police officer. Let me just talk to him briefly. Okay, he tells me he cannot be able to speak, but at least we've got these officers here to ensure that these students do not get into the office of the governor and stop activities from this place. But they're saying that they're going to go on a full strike unless their grievances are heard. Back to you in studio, Kahiga.
No, my goodness, quite some activity happening there, and the governor has had a chance to listen to what some of the students have had to say. Governor, your thoughts?
I think
they are looking for you. It appears.
Yes, it's unfortunate because I'm not there, but if I had the opportunity, I would tell them this. I understand their plight. It's unfortunate, but we have to engage the right offices. KMTC is under national government. But as soon as I'm through with this, I'm going to engage with both the chairman and yes, the chairman of KMTC.
Okay.
And I will give a way forward. But so if someone has been moved, and really there must be reasons why that individual has been moved, but I am surprised because she was just preparing for a graduation ceremony that was supposed to be, I think, on a few days from now.
So it's peculiar.
So it's a peculiar reason.
Allow me to interrupt you. I want your brief last comment. 2022, do you hope to defend this seat?
Thank you, Kahiga. The plans that we have for Nyeri County are really not going to be achieved fully in 5 years.
Okay, and but so you will need to give Nyeri residents a reason to give you a mandate then, won't you?
I will work so hard that come 2022, Nyeri people will look back and say, I think this man is just committed to working for us, and can we give him another opportunity to push us on for the next 5 years.
Governor Mutahi Kahiga, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
For finding time to be here with us today.